Hello, my name is Caleb Worden, and today I'll be analyzing the Ghostrunner Grapple ability. The Grapple ability allows players to aim towards a target, shoot the grapple, and then pull themselves at a fast rate to beat enemies and rotate around the map very quickly. While the mechanic may seem simple on paper, there are a lot of design considerations that need to be thought of when making this mechanic. For instance, when looking around the map, you see these different blue points popping up, really in front of the player's face, really speaking to them. And those points are actually just little target points that the player can aim towards, not necessarily having to have their cursor on it. And here we'll slow it down and show it on a slower clip here. But the player can just move their center of their screen closer to the point and it will target it. It'll target the various points if you want to grapple. Since the grapple points become targeted once the player is within a certain distance to them, this allows the player to focus more on main areas of combat and rotating around, dodging bullets, and less on the minute things of aiming and hitting the target point exactly how they need to. Another area to analyze would be how they set up the grapple points within the levels and the level design of it. So as you can see throughout the level, the grapple points are placed in accessible areas that let the player access more inaccessible wall runs or platforms that maybe they wouldn't be able to get to unless they had a grapple ability. So now I'm going to slow down a couple clips and put the times up that it took between actually starting the grapple mechanic and getting to the wall or their destination. The first grapple point took about 91 milliseconds, give or take, whereas the second one took around 77 milliseconds, give or take. So from this we can tell that the time it takes from the start of the animation towards the end of the animation is relative towards the distance that the player has to travel between where they start and where their target point actually is. So now we're going to slow down a few clips here and look at how the target points actually populate the screen for the player. In these clips you can definitely see that it's based on a line of sight, so you can't see the target points through walls. You have to be able to see the point itself, and you can see that it's a little bit based on distance. So some of them you can kind of see them scrubbing in a little bit based on how far the player is. If the player is too far away, it might not populate the screen, and whereas where they are close, it will be bright and right in front of them, already targeted. Now we're going to take a look at the mechanic from a feedback perspective and listen to a few of the clips. From watching and listening to this clip, we can see and hear that the way that this mechanic is set up is that it plays that animation of shooting out that string, almost like a Spider-Man like effect, and hitting that target point. A string hits the target point, pulls the player in. You hear a hit sound, a reel sound, and you see just the string hitting that point before you get pulled in. So as far as feedback goes, that's a majority of the feedback that they give you, and it's great feedback that tells the player and lets them know definitively that they're doing the grapple mechanic. Overall, I really enjoyed breaking down the Ghostrunner grapple ability. Thank you guys for watching.